Hey, Cancer. Intuitive Soul Coach here with your July 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, no surprise here to see the balloons. A lot of you sun sign Cancerians are celebrating a birthday in the month of July. You have the inner child showing up. This does talk about laughter, fun, play, celebration of your life, right? This is about bringing more joy, happiness, and enthusiasm into your world. I feel for a lot of you, there has been a sense of heaviness, a sense of seriousness showing up in your world, because I also have the shadow card. And for some of you Cancers, you've went through a major spiritual awakening, but it required you to hit a rock bottom in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like you're making a full-on recovery, because I'm getting here the road to recovery, which that may have even been Gemini's title of their reading. Some of you are right on that Gemini cusp, or perhaps Gemini season was very significant for you in some way, shape, or form. But I do feel like a lot of you are facing some sort of struggle or challenge head on, and it is allowing you to push through a fear. It's allowing you to break through some sort of maybe glass ceiling if you felt restricted or if you felt trapped. Because the Page of Pentacles is showing up, and it did show up a little bit on the challenging side, I feel like you struggled manifesting a new opportunity in the physical world. It may have been financial. For some of you, it has to do with a divine partnership, but that's changing because there's some sort of wish fulfillment or magic. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Magician in your reading here as well. That leads to a brand new beginning, the Fool. We have the Two of Cups here. We have the Spiritual Toolbox, which does talk about using the resources of, the universal laws, right? The law of attraction, the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. And we have the Strength card underneath. And this is about persevering. It is about willpower, dedication, stamina. For some of you, Leo season, which is right after Cancer season, this could be a big time for you to really believe in yourself. And I feel like this is the direction you are headed here, Cancer. It's self-empowerment, believing in your journey, your path, understanding that the things that have happened in your life are meant to help your soul ascend. They're not there to define you in an entrapment, okay? They're not to hold you back or to keep you trapped in some sort of pattern or cycle. And I keep getting that word, entrapment and pattern. So for some of you, you have played out some sort of pattern, or you have finally seen the light in order to break out of an old paradigm or an old way of being. I'm also getting control. Could be something that you've dealt with in the past with the Strength card. Now this could be self-control. It could be the shadow side of someone that you were working with, that you were in a relationship with. There is something around maybe a little bit of dominant energy. Okay, even though I don't have any of those cards here, I'm just feeling that with the Strength. This may have been father. There may have been masculine energy influencing, possibly some sort of deception here. Maybe someone was wearing a false mask in a relationship. I'm also getting children, because we do have the inner child. This could be someone's childhood dreams or someone's childhood wounds that may have showed up in some way, shape, or form. And you're addressing them head on, or you have addressed them, and that's actually allowing you to shatter through some sort of, again, glass ceiling, or shift to the next frequency or to a new beginning, because you have the Fool card here. A lot of you are taking a huge leap of faith in a new direction, and it's scary, right? It's scary when you open yourself up to something new. You have the King. Okay, remember I just said that there's not an emperor or a masculine energy here? Well, here we have the King, and this is the embodiment of that masculinity. So it's showing up here for a reason. And we also have the Maiden. The Maiden. So it could be the child, it could be the father, it could be the feminine, the masculine. We'll dive into that at the very end, so stay tuned. So right away here, we have the inner child showing up. This is that child within, that little boy, that little girl, right? The one who wants to laugh and play and create and feel the joy for life, right? Unburdened by so many responsibilities and broken hearts and conditioning and loss that we go through as we navigate through life. This is about innocence and happiness. It's about fun, joy, and magic. And I am seeing a lot of magic in your reading here. And like I said, it wouldn't surprise me to see the Magician. However, when I pulled here from the Soul's Truth, we have if I had a magic wand, right? So if I had a magic wand, you know, what would you do? What would you desire? What would you choose? Because I almost feel like you're blowing out the candles, right? And this is about you making a wish. What is it that you truly want in your life? What makes you happy, Cancer? What fulfills you? What do you need to take to the next level? Who do you need to become in order to live the life that you truly are meant to live? And some of you, you're looking into this spiritual journey that we're all on, but you're making big changes within yourself. And I feel like you've been doing the inner work because you have shadow showing up here. And this inner work requires healing. It requires accountability and therapy, possibly. It could be looking at the ego. It could be addictions. It could be buried emotions, trauma response. It can also be old patterns. And because in your career sector, I see the spiral here, this does remind me of a cyclical or pattern type of behavior or energies that continue to replay itself out. Now, that doesn't have to just be for your career. This could be any area of your life, because your soul came here to evolve. And I just see a lot of you crashing through to the next level. I keep hearing that next level energies, or, you know, taking the tools that you've learned maybe through spiritual practices such as meditation. It could be Reiki, healing energy. Some of you, alternative forms of therapy have really helped you open up to your own spiritual gifts and to connect to yourself on a deeper level, getting back to that soul self. And that's what the Fool represents, right? The Fool energy is all about the spiritual soul self, the true inner self. Now, what comes after the Fool is the Magician. So this Fool is the us before we incarnate, before we manifest into this earthly realm. This is the soul. And I feel like a lot of you, you are being guided to trust that there is a new journey and a new path that you're manifesting here in the material world with this Page of Pentacles. But because it's showing up in the reverse, I feel like there's been a tad bit of a delay. For those of you who have not checked out last weekend's collective reading, the title is A Divine Delay. You may want to check that out because that gives you insight into why divine delays happen and what you can do to help you move through that energy when we're feeling impatient or we're feeling off track. But I feel like you are manifesting something golden here, something really quite magnificent, because your outcome is the Page of Cups. This is manifesting from a place of inspiration, creativity, heart's desire. This is passion, it's playfulness, it's discovery. And I feel like it's okay for you to not have everything perfect. And I feel like perfectionism may have killed passion, or it may have been a belief that really sabotaged some sort of happiness in the past, and you're being guided to break out of that mold or break out of that cycle. It may have even been as a child, you were told that, be polite, be kind, don't play in the dirt, your hair has to be perfect, or you have to get perfect grades, you have to go to the best school, you have to be all that you can be, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with inspiration and striving for goals, but striving for perfection is not ideal. And for some of you, because you were taught that in some way, shape, or form, or perhaps there wasn't that type of structure. And in order for you to feel seen, heard, or valued from teachers, from parents, from, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever it may have been, it's like you strive to be the perfect weight, or you strive to look great in any or all areas. And I feel like that may have suffocated some sort of creativity within you, but you're breaking out of that because this shadow goes way back. Right? This shadow is about some deep-seated wounds that may have stemmed from, very early on in life. And that's hard, Cancer, to break out of. Conditioning is hard to break out of, but when you do, it is a game changer. So I feel like you're celebrating this month. You're celebrating all that you are, all that you've become, and all that you have yet to experience in this world. And there is something new opening up. I'm getting solo travel for some of you. This could be opening up to a new love connection. I definitely feel like there's play involved. This could even be, this is TMI readings with Mel. There could be some sort of foreplay, or there could be some sort of sexual connection with that Strength card as well, with the Two of Cups. I'm getting here intimacy on a whole new level, but it's more than just the physical act of intimacy. This is deep. It's spiritual. So I feel like it's playing out in many different ways. Now, some of you are spiritual teachers, guides, coaches, mentors. You may have gone through a lot, but that makes you an even better teacher, right? Because then you have more compassion, more understanding, and you're able to release judgments because you've gone through it, right? And I feel like some of you may even pull your own oracle or tarot cards. You could be readers or highly intuitive yourself, or this is something that you do incorporate into your daily practice because you are a soul having a human experience, and you're not going to forget that, right? You're not going to forget that. That's why when you go through hard times, Cancer, when you go through shadow periods, where you come face to face, you're being asked to look at something, not run from it. You're being asked to look at some sort of fear, challenge, or struggle head on and deal with it so it doesn't keep replaying out in your life. Maybe in different relationships, but the same type of energy. Maybe it's an old wound of self-sabotage that keeps replaying out. If you deal with it, if you heal it, if you own it, then you're able to release it and let it go and bring about a new beginning and happier times ahead. Now, bottom of the deck, you can't make that up. Look at, we have letting go, we have soul tribe, and we have body talk. Basically everything that we just talked about. So this is about self-love, right? It's about exercising, good practices, good healthy routines. For some of you, it's mental health. It can be body image, loving oneself. And some of you have struggled with anorexia, bulimia. It could be the shape, the size, the height, the color. It's something around the body that you were born into. There has been some sort of deep-seated struggle. Some of you may have turned to addictions. You may have turned to sex. You may have turned to some form of behavior to fill maybe a need or a want or a void that you didn't receive as a child. But I feel like you've done work. That this is chakra healing. This is, taking a look at things from a more mature standpoint and letting go of some insecurities that you've had for quite some time. Maybe looking at, stretch marks, gray hair, wrinkles, cellulite, all of the things that we all have, or, one or the other. I feel like you are exercising a good, healthy dose of self-love. And that's something you are embracing, and you're connecting with soul tribe. You may also be rebuilding some new family structures, some new friendships, which does require you to let go of old ways of doing things or old family patterns, dynamics, and even old friendships or people that no longer resonate with your energy, because that may be more of what you needed at that time to help you grow and evolve. But for a lot of you, this is a new shared journey with people who you trust, people who inspire you. And yeah, letting go of the past, because there's a new beginning here. Endings bringing in new beginnings in a big way. All right. Whew, that's deep already. And we're not even into the cards too much yet. Okay. So for some of you, there is going to be a new offer coming in here. Potentially a new offer for a job, for some sort of training. Now, I thought I seen the new offer card, but I don't, but I still see there is a new offer. Some of you may be buying a new asset. This could be a new business contract. I do feel like you could be working with children for some of you. Some of you would make an excellent love coach, okay, or sex coach, therapist. This could also be bringing people together, matchmaker. Cancer, you are a natural matchmaker here. You have this heart that brings people together. There also could be an energy of you've been married for quite some time, or you've been in a dynamic or friends with someone from the very beginning. I'm hearing the name here, Brittany, and I also heard Ash. So I don't know if this is Ashley or Ash. Could be significant, or Asheville. Maybe some of you live in Asheville. But we do have new assets here. We have background checks. Someone's looking into you. Someone wants to know more about you. You're intriguing. You're interesting. You have the type of energy that people swarm towards. And I feel like you are being guided to coach others in some way, take additional training, to teach. I'm getting strongly a teacher, mindset, or a student mindset. As they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I feel like there will be a lot of success. So some of you, there is training here. You could even be training for, a marathon, or training for, getting into shape in some way, shape, or form. Some of you, this could be a wellness program, a health goal that you have, or some form of certification, real estate, nursing. You could be going back to school. Some of you are working overtime. You're working multiple hours to achieve a level of success, to better your life here, to get up out of some sort of debt, because we have debt here showing up. And there's going to be a follow-up is what I see. Yeah, background check. If someone's looking into you, looking over your work, your resume, they're going to follow up with you. They're going to book the call. They're going to book the session, or they're going to book the second interview. I feel like this is really great. And you are going to manifest more success or abundance, whatever success or abundance means to you, Cancer, because you have this performance evaluation. And to me, this could be literally a performance eval on paper that's you're giving to someone or they're giving to you. But I feel like it's deeper than that, because we're showing up with such intense energies and we have the Fool. I feel like this is you giving your life a performance evaluation. Am I where I want to be? Right? And if not, what do I need to change? What belief do I need to alter or shift to get me to where I need to go? What is blocking my heart from taking action? So you're really bringing something back into balance here. And if it doesn't make you happy, you're changing it up, right? If you're not living the life that you want to live, it may be because there is a part of you that maybe doesn't believe that it's possible, or there's some sort of holdup here when it comes to this manifestation. And that's what you're shaking loose this month. Page of Pentacles is your starting energy. Page of Cups is your ending energy. Beautiful. Now, even though pages are sometimes known as even like the Fool, I feel good about this energy because it means we're going in with an open mind. We're going in with a level of curiosity and discovery. We're opening up to what could be. This is potential. This is communication. Page of Pentacles is, serious and trustworthy and reliable. It's the page that really manifest something into the physical. And I feel like with this Page of Cups, you're going to continue to explore your curiosities in a creative, open heart type of way. This could be a relationship that you want to move forward in, but at the same time, there's no rush. You don't have to know where this relationship is going to go, in 5 months or 5 years. It's about being present, being in the moment, and having fun right now. And maybe that's why I was picking up on that energy of control earlier, because someone may have, high expectations, or they may want things quickly. But the page is saying, just be open to discovery, getting to know each other. This could be the beginning of something quite significant. If this is career, you don't have to have it all figured out right now. You can have fun with it, play with it, learn as you go. And you're not going to miss out on, these opportunities just because you feel like you have to have all of them lined up right here and tackle them. That's control, right? When we feel like we have to have this in place and that in place, and it has to look like that, and it has to be a certain way, then we lose sight of the fun. And then it doesn't, it kind of blocks the inspiration or the flow that is meant to be here. This may have to do with a very powerful connection. You have the Two of Cups showing up here. This is attraction. It's the law of attraction. It's mutual attraction. It's an attraction of two hearts coming together. It is an important ship. Yes, it is. It's an important partnership that is based on love, right? And maybe even romance for some of you, but it did require a healing of the past. Some of you, most of you have gone through some form of separation where you were rejected, or there was an unrequited energy between the both of you. Maybe that's what you are hanging on to is, can someone else love me? That person didn't, or that person hurt me, and I tried and I was everything that I could be, that perfectionism, right? But it didn't work out. And maybe you threw that back at yourself saying, well, what's wrong with me? And that's why you have that body image card, because you're letting go of that maybe victim mentality that there's something wrong with you, when in reality, right, you are perfectly imperfect. You are, again, a soul having a human experience. And that's what you are remembering. And you're letting go of the notion that just because something didn't work out, that you'll never have happiness, because that's an illusion. That's not what's happening. You're taking a leap of faith, and for a lot of you, it looks like it is in matters of the heart. But it requires vulnerability. It requires this strength energy for you to open up and for you to face some fears head on, for you to take a look at any self-sabotaging behaviors, right? It also says, you don't want to go in wearing your heart on your sleeve. You want to be logical at the same time, because the Two of Swords is showing up in reverse, which can be, not ignoring a decision. The mind may be pulling you in one direction, but at the same time, I feel, Cancer, that your thoughts and your mind has been talking you out of something for quite some time. And I'm getting the energy of just do it, right? Just do it. No more letting the mind control this new beginning. And maybe that's that control piece, because the time has come. You're at this crossroads, this point in your life where no wonder, Cancer season, you are being activated to step up into a new, a new age. And believe it or not, I mean, a lot of you do believe it. You're here watching tarot, but numerology is a huge thing. Different ages bring about a different energy within us. And if you are a sun Cancer, you're shifting into a new number, a new age, just like our personal year numbers, our life path numbers. And so some of you could even be looking into numerology, or you could be discovering hidden talents within yourself. But what I get with this Two of Swords is, it's not being blinded to some sort of truth, but it's allowing yourself to break out of the mind telling you that you're not good enough or you can't do it. And once you do, that frees you up to really take that leap of faith and let go of an old way of being or doing or thinking that's been suffocating you in some way, shape, or form, and allowing you to open up to this heartfelt energy. And some of you, sometimes the pages can represent naivety, being too naive. Sometimes the Fool gets looked at as, very foolish. I don't see that here with you, Cancer. I see that you're actually very wise. Remember I said I seen that Emperor, or that masculine energy? We see the Maiden, which isn't quite the crone, but we see the King showing up. So it is that you're standing in your power. It is that you are feeling empowered, but it requires this new beginning. We're never too old. We're never, it's never too late to start again, right? I'm sure you've all seen those memes of fall in love at 40, change careers at 50, write a book at 60, whatever it is that you want to do, it's never too late to do it. All right. Whew. This is intense. Let's take a look here. Okay. D, I'm getting a D name. This could be Derek or Duroc. I feel like there could be a little bit of maybe a special, maybe it's in a different language. Take that as it resonates. Now, when it comes to career, wealth, money, we have the Hand. We have, the hand that feeds you. Okay, what's that all about? The hand that feeds you. Maybe some of you, it's about, maybe you work with your hands cutting up food and you literally feed people. This could be, is that a quote? If you guys know what that means, or if that means something to you, the hand that feeds you. I don't know what that means, but I keep hearing it over and over. Maybe for some of you, it's about, utilizing your hands. Whenever I get this hand card, this is my healing hands. So some of you could work with your hands, massage, Reiki. You may create things, right? Making necklaces or bath bombs or candles. The hand that feeds you. That's so interesting. I might have to look that up. But this is about hands-on work, and it can be help getting a job. It can be help in some way, shape, or form, helping to make a decision. Look at, you have the Two Swords showing up again. So if you've struggled with money conflicts, if you have struggled with maybe a legal situation, law and order, this could be a pay cut, pay defense, or you were fired. This could be a month where there's a big breakthrough coming in, because it says breakthrough on this card. Some of you may have been going through, a situation where someone was trying to cut corners. They were trying to be cheap, or they were going through a bit of a power play. Some of you, there was a major downsizing, a merger. Okay, if this is you and you are a business owner, I feel like you are trying to find ways to grow your business here. And I see with the Hand, this is about reaching goals. This is about manifesting money and being able to work as you go, learn as you go. Learn as you go, and you will continue to grow. Okay, I heard that as well. Some of you may work with plants, plant medicine, or products from earth. Okay, or work with the earth. There's something with soil, maybe tending the garden. That could be symbolic for you planting new seeds, which makes sense with that Fool. Now, we also have the Spiral. Now, this can be that pattern. It reminds me of, choku rei, or some sort of symbol. Some of you are seeing symbols. You may be working on mantras, affirmations, but this is also about climbing the ladder. If you're in the corporate world, you are on an upward trend because some of you felt like you were stuck in some sort of loop. You're getting out of that here. This is about revisiting a job. This could be a promotion or connecting to the right people, right? Spirit is putting you in the right hands of someone who could maybe feed you, right? And I feel like that also has to do with not food, actual food maybe, but it could be like food for thought, food for learning. You have the training energy here as well. So I do feel like there's a gesture, a loving hand, some sort of support coming in, Cancer, that allows you to reach new goals. Let's look at love because we do have a lot of love in your reading. We have let your friends help you. Some of you are in a karmic relationship or you were in a dynamic where someone deceived you. It really brought out some insecurities. Someone was dealing with addictions, trauma, the ego, the egoic self. Someone may have really shown you a dark side of themselves. They may have wore a mask. And I feel like you are getting out of that. You're letting go of that old story that everyone is going to be like that person or this person has some form of control, even if you're not together with them. So ask for and accept support from others. And we just seen that hand card and I didn't even look at these ones yet. So someone at work could be helping you out. There could be some sort of financial assistance or aid or resources showing up, not just in the physical, but in the spiritual here. Now, for those of you that are looking for love, there is a brand new opportunity to open your heart. But I do see that you're scared, right? Because it requires you to open your heart up. And when we open our heart up, we have to trust, that whatever happens, hopefully we can be safe and secure handing our heart to someone else. But I feel like Spirit is saying, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking, positive faith, right, will bring you this romance. And we have children. Your love life may be affected by children. Some of you, this has to do with the childhood wounding that we've talked about here. But we also have playfulness. And this has been a big theme, starting with the inner child. It says, to recapture romance. And for some of you, if you are already in a union, it means remember why you fell in love in the first place. If something has become too stagnant, if there's become a lot of distance, a lot of maybe negativity or shadows between the both of you, or if you've gone through a lot and you can't quite see things, it may require you to take a leap of faith and remember why you fell in love if you want to remain in this union. But if not, I feel like you have this leap of faith elsewhere to bring in a sense of playfulness and enthusiasm and love for life, love for the people that you choose to be with. Yeah, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So high emphasis on your inner youth, okay? The inner youth here. I'm also getting that song, We Are, the Youth of the Nation. So there is something here about legacy or, maybe transcending through breaking some generational traumas or transcending through some family dynamics. I think we said that in the beginning, like breaking out of old patterns and not holding yourself back, not sabotaging. There is definitely a new beginning. And I don't know when this happens, but apparently your outcome card here switched to the Fool. So I must have, reconfigured here. And I feel like that's the message. That's what you're doing in your life, Cancer, is you're reconfiguring. It's like, where do you want these pieces to go? Just like in these tarot readings, tarot is not set in stone. It's here to guide you. And if you don't like how something looks, what can you do to embrace it, accept it, change it, alter it, whatever you need to do, right? And the outcome energy is the Fool. So it's almost like somewhere along the line, you decided that this was going to be your outcome. I kind of like that for you. Definitely reconfigurating here. So if you had a magic wand and could have anything you desired in life, what would I choose? Okay, this is kind of funny. Bear with me for you jokesters out there for a good laugh. I'm getting one of those candles on the birthday cake that you blow and blow and blow and blow, but it doesn't go out. And for some of you, that's what it feels like when you've been trying to manifest. Like it's almost as if as soon as you blow that candle out, wishes come true, but you've been blowing and blowing and blowing on that damn candle and it's still lit up, right? And so it almost, there's a comedic, like humorous take on something that Spirit is reminding you. Sometimes when life feels so heavy, the lesson is to not take it so seriously, right? Just because it didn't blow out and didn't manifest your wishes yet, because, right, we got to let that kind of, we got to joke with it, roll with the punches. And I just got that as I was reading this, but it says, burn with desire. There is power in your desires. Let them be your fuel today. Your desires are your soul's wings, and it's time to take flight. Today's soul action, go inward. Your answers lie within. What do you desire? Choose what makes you happy and do that. This is your desires here. This is your happiness. This is your, your gifts to yourself. Don't give up on yourself or your dreams. You're not alone either. And there is something here about feeling alone or isolated, but you're not. You have this support. You have this soul tribe all around you. How can you be more flexible right now? What are you trying to control? It literally says that. What are you trying to control? Maybe it's time to let go. Let love move through you today and trust the outcome will be for your highest good, right? There's that control piece we talked about. There's the letting go that we have at the bottom of the deck. There's the love with the Two of Cups and the Page of Cups, and trust the outcome. Remember what we said about the outcome. It got switched around here and went to the Fool. Trust that you taking this leap of faith is going to be for your highest good, because it absolutely is. So your soul action, Cancer, remind yourself all day long that you are safe, that life is happening for you, and that you are not alone. Then do some yoga. Beautiful energy here. All right, we're going to take a look at the Maiden first and then the King, because the King is that energy I picked up on in the very beginning. And I'm not familiar too much with the Maiden, but it was, I believe, let's see, it might have been Cancer, or no, you're Cancer. Might have been Gemini's energy. For those of you that have any Gemini in your chart, I think Gemini received the Crone, if I remember correctly. And so there may be something in Gemini's reading for you as well if you have Gemini in your chart. But I also feel like you've grown to new heights. There's this energy here of maturing and embracing the magic that life has to offer. So let's take a look here. The Maiden. The Maiden. All right. Just taking a second to find it. I'm going to put the video on pause so we don't keep you waiting. All right, so the Maiden has to do with the virgin, the princess, the innocent, and that has to do literally with the page, 2 pages, and the Fool. It's all about that innocence. Same with the inner child. So there's an important message here for you. The Maiden archetype is the epitome of innocent arousal, naive sensuality, and precarious purity. She is compelling and addictive. Because of her flawless and youthful glow, she's the first archetype in the trifecta of Maiden Mother Crone, and rightfully so, because she has, so much to learn. The Maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way and subject her to a challenge that leads to the next phase of womanhood. She must grow up, yet hesitates at the threshold, enamored by the charms of youth. The Maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forest. Wow, you can't make that up with the shadow here and the inner child. That's pretty wild. The Maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forests, dark nights, and taking just one taste of poisonous fruit. Her magic is edgy and includes both shame and delight. Let yourself fall down the rabbit hole, young one. Wow, does. It reminds me of Alice in Wonderland in a way, where it does require you to evolve, shift, transform. This is about curiosity, enchanting energy, sensuality. It's full of vitality. It's not a bad energy at all. It's about new beginnings. But there's still so much growth to learn, and you are being guided to go down that rabbit hole with the Fool, right? Take on a new journey here and explore along the way. It's okay that you don't have, all of those pieces together, but I feel like you do. In a way, there is it feels like a tad bit of a contradiction, or maybe a conundrum would be the better word, because of the King, because I feel like you have the intelligence, you have that growth piece of it, but you are being guided to drop back into a youthful type of energy, because some of you have got stuck in that maybe King energy for so long that you forgot what it feels like to be present in this youth. Because when it's dark, it pretends, it projects, it denies, it fantasizes. If you want to go deeper, take a look at Persephone, Alice, or any princess figures. Yeah. Moving from the maiden to the mother is challenging, often leaving unresolved tension between the two archetypes for years, if not a lifetime. So earlier I was saying something with the father energy, which we do have, but this could be mother or father energies from childhood that may be being brought up at this time. Do you long to be rescued by another or receive a kiss that brings you back to life? Be wary of waiting for a prince. Break the spell of your own life. Wow. Remember what I said about all that magic earlier? I was getting magician. No wonder. Does anybody else have some fairy tale vibes here? Because this is about breaking the spell of your own life. It's about you overcoming some sort of pattern or dynamic that we talked about in the beginning. Now, you have the King energy. So this is really you on a deep level. This is kind of like a soul energy. Maybe not soul. It could be more of conditioning as well. I feel like the soul is the maiden, right? The soul is that Fool. But the King, it's like you've been in this for so long. Who are you if you're not this King? So let's see what this has for you. This is the Emperor. It's the commander, the ruler. If our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the King presides over it all. Through the lens of the King, we assess the state of our land, make decisions, and rule accordingly. Therefore, the King must be thoroughly and regularly vetted so as to avoid corruption. Recognize the dual nature of the King. He is either seated in benevolence and strength, guiding you towards peace, or he is oppressing the weak out of a need to control. There's not much middle ground. Some think of the King as the ultimate expression of the ego, yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility, knowing the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. You guys, I have goosebumps here. There is something here about healing those discrepancies. This is about benevolence here. It's about divine leadership, service, nobility. That's why you have the spiritual toolbox. When it's in the dark, the shadow aspect, which you may have had to go through to learn. It's about oppression, misuse of power, and corruption. If you want to go deeper, study the Dalai Lama, Indra, Richard III, or Macbeth. Once the King's relationship to divinity is broken or challenged, he often acts from a place of fear, scrambling to uphold his image and power. The King is necessary. He is a bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. It is also said that it is necessary for the King to die. This is a death of ego. Wow. Cancer, that's a pretty intense reading. Let me know how it resonates with you. Drop it in the comment section below. I do read each and every one of the comments. Pretty intense stuff, but you are heading towards a massive transformation where you get to choose, right? You are the one that creates your reality, right? Go back to your soul self. Go back to a place of, your true inner soul, your spiritual self, and take this leap of faith. Embrace this fresh start. Embrace the adventure, the unknown. and come out of the ego and embrace the innocence. That is what I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love.